Through an ironic twist of fate, the geological upheaval caused by the huge salt works at Stoke Prior had reversed the flow of the local brine runs, eating away at the thick layer of rock salt that supported the town. The very substance that had been the town's economic foundation proved to be the greatest threat to the structural stability of so many of its buildings. A few crooked windows haven't troubled this high street shop. In fact, Coco's Catch has been awarded by the Sea Fish Industry Authority and the Potato Marketing Board the title Fish and Chip Shop of the Year out of the whole of the Midlands and East Anglia, officially confirming what its customers knew all along. The 13th century builders of St Andrews believed that the foundations of their new church were as solid as their own faith. Too bad. The brine ran underneath, and in 1928 the tower had become so unstable it was finally dismantled, and the bells found a new home. St Andrews at least fared better than the nearby church of St Nicholas, which was almost completely destroyed in the Civil War. 3 of its windows, however, were saved and built into the upper story of the old Cock Inn in Friar Street. The upstairs function room features a shield bearing the arms of the Packington Lodge. But while these days the old Cock offers its clients a welcoming bar and a first-class restaurant, in 1685 the inn is said to have been the site of one of the bloody assizes of the infamous Judge Jeffreys, of whom this is thought to be a likeness. The scowling face stares up at Norbury House, part of which has been converted into a small theatre. Here you can help put on a drama, or take lessons in tap dancing, or in ballet. The Vanya Carlton School of Dance contributes regularly to the musical shows at the Norbury Theatre, and although it's still summertime, auditions are already being held for next season's panto. While the youngsters at the Norbury Theatre concentrate on stagecraft, the Ginny Ring Centre, just outside the town, caters for an even wider selection of traditional skills. A lot of local craft effort went into the construction of one of the area's most elegant pieces of architecture, Hanbury Hall. It was Thomas Vernon, Chancery Barrister and head of the well-established Vernon family, who built this country residence at the beginning of the 18th century. The architect of this fine William and Mary style house is uncertain, but is thought to be a local man, William Rudhall. The orangery was added some 40 years later. The grounds themselves were extensively altered during the reign of George III, and again, in particular the forecourt, in the 19th century. In 1994, the original 18th century garden to the west of the house was restored. This much more formal layout is taken directly from plans which were drawn up when the hall was first built, almost 300 years ago. The work of Hanbury's 18th, 19th and 20th century gardeners, along with the 18th century hall itself, can be seen by the public from the beginning of April to the end of October. On view for just 3 hours, however, is the collective work of the members of the Spa and District Horticultural Society. Late summer brings the Society's annual show, where mere flower arranging blossoms into a spectacular display of floral fireworks. But, as its name implies, the Horticultural Society does not confine its activities to flower arranging alone. While Mum's designing with her dahlias in the Floral Hall, another side of the exhibition is also taking shape, as Dad and the children busy themselves setting up their own displays next door. This pumpkin weighs 127 kilos. Not unexpectedly, it won first prize for its 11-year-old owner. Held on this occasion at the College of the Sacred Heart, the show's 124 classes of exhibit attract more than 600 entries every year. With Christmas on the horizon, October sees rehearsals for the Choral Society's performance of The Messiah well underway. This group of 40 singers usually chooses Handel's traditional work to perform in the festive season, and although a professional is engaged to take the solo role, all the members of the choir take part purely for the sheer enjoyment of singing. Just as seasonal, but rather more frivolous, the Norbury Theatre Pantomime opens its doors to the public for its first night. They've come a long way from the auditions back in August, and with 4 months of rehearsal behind them, they're relaxed and ready to open.
Cram full of groceries. He said, well, I said, 'tis a larder. Mate of mine went to the garage and he says, have you got a cap for a Skoda? He says, yeah, that's a fair swap. I went down to the bank.
The tradition of pantomime can be traced as far back as ancient Rome, and it was the Romans occupying Droitwich who named the town Salinae, meaning saltworks. Through the generations that followed, the town has consistently drawn upon the benefits bestowed by its unique geological position. It is to the town's credit that as it looks to the future with a firm commercial base, which is quite unrelated to the old salt trade, it still acknowledges the debt that present-day Droitwich owes to the richness of its past.
For hard the work and low the pay, we stoke the fires 12 hours a day, and life evaporates away, till salt doth lose its savour.